Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, I have another bike to show you guys. Now this one has a lot of stuff on it. I hope I don't miss all the features, and if I do, I'll put a graphic up as I usually do. But I've waited a while for this bike, and it finally got here. Many of you guys know it was coming in, and so it is here. So let me show you the electric bike company Model S. Yeah, this is a nice bike, huh? I say that about all my bikes because I kind of pick and choose which bikes I decide to review. But when Electric Bike Company contacted me and said, would you be interested in getting one of our bikes? I immediately said yes. Wasn't even a hesitation. So this is the Model S. The Model S is a beach cruiser. Now you might be looking at it and say, well, you know, you're out in Chicago. Beach cruiser, really? Yes. A couple of reasons for that, and I'll talk about that, why I decided to choose this model over some of the other ones that they have. But yeah, we customized this bike. Everything on here is customized based on what I told them I wanted. Now they told me that I can pick whichever model I wanted, put whatever features I wanted on it, and they would build it for me. I had to ask a second time. I said, anything? And they said, anything. So of course, what did I do? I maxed it out. I put every option that they had available, and they gave me every option that was available at the time. There's some new features now too that this bike doesn't have. So yeah, this is a nice one. So let's talk a little bit about this bike. Now, I picked the color, right? My wife and I picked the color. I tried different color combinations. I did all sorts of things to try to customize this thing so that it was totally unique. And at the end of the day, I said, yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to keep it one simple, one color. Now, the reason I picked the Model S over some of the other models that they had is because with this beach cruiser style, I can get wooden fenders and wooden chain guard. Take a look at this. Is that not nice or what? Let's take a look at the fenders here. Yeah, all of this stuff is made here in the United States. Well, I wouldn't say all of it. I know that the wood parts are. Yeah, they bend their own wood and do the whole thing themselves. So this is a company from the United States. Yes, Electric Bike Company is out in California, and they bring in parts from different parts of the world. It's 100% assembled in the United States, and they do some things that some of the other companies don't do. Yeah, they build their own batteries. Yeah. Speaking of batteries, let me show you the battery pack here. The battery pack on this model is in the back here. That's just one of them. Let me show you the other batteries. It's inside the basket. Yeah, in here, underneath this, are 2 additional batteries. So I asked them for all the batteries I can get on there. And so my range is said to be 200 miles. Now we all know 200 miles is the idealistic figure as manufacturers give it. But the way I looked at it was this: even if I only got 100 miles out of this, that's more than what most people would ride in a single day, right? So yeah, I said, give me the biggest battery in the back and give me those double batteries in the front on the basket. And they did. Now I did some things that are a little bit different that's not part of their bike. Like for instance, the bottle cage here, I zip tied that. As I usually do, I zip tied it to the basket. They don't have any bosses for putting a bottle cage. So I said, you know, I've done this many times. It's going on the outside of the basket. Works really good, just zip tie them. So, all right, let's see if we can cover some of the things that I did to this bike. Oh, what is the cost of this bike? Let me check my phone. I want to make sure I get the exact prices on here. Well, let's swing around here. Sometimes it's hard to see. Okay, as I have it, I have the bike at $5,605. All right, now you don't have to do that. if you got the basic model, it's $2,399. Keep in mind, I did a lot to this bike. I added a lot of things to it. So I took it from $2,399 and brought it up to $5,605. All right. All right, let's talk about what's on this bike. Okay, so what happens is you get the basic frame, okay? You get the beach cruiser style frame. Then you can either use a couple of stock colors or you can have them custom painted. They have an in-house painting facility at their place. And so I said, yeah, we're customizing it. So I went through all the different colors and ultimately I picked this particular blue color. Yeah, and you could change that. You could say, give me the blue on the frame, but on the fork, let's change that to a different color. We can do that. And I tried different combinations, but I felt that it would look classier if we just kept it all as one color. So what I did is I colored the frame, and then I had them color the suspension fork. The suspension fork is an option. You can have a solid fork there, or you can have a suspension. Of course, I want the suspension on there. And then you could color the basket, but I left it in natural silver, but I colored the liner. So I took the liner and made it the same color as the bike. And then as far as the battery, you can change the color of the battery pack too. I just decided to leave it a dark color. That is a custom color, by the way. It's got some metal flake on there, so you can. I know it's hard to see it in the video, but I had them paint that too. And then I added, I did leather grips, a leather saddle. I think this is leatherette. I'm not sure if this is true leather. I don't think so. I'm not sure. We'll check. And by the way, this is the super cushiest saddle I have ever ridden on. Yeah. If you want to buy this saddle separately, you can. They do sell it. I think it's like $79. It is branded with the Electric Bike Company logo. I love their logo, by the way. It kind of shows electric, and it's kind of like a road. Kind of cool. That branding goes through over here as well. Their name is over here. It says Electric Bike Company. What else did I do? I added Shimano derailleur on there. You can get this as a single speed if you want, but of course I prefer to have a derailleur, so I added that. Let me show you this, the SIS shifter that seems to be on everybody's bikes. This thing's silver. I've never seen it like this before. Almost anything that they can come up with that would make this a little bit more unique to theirs, they did it. So you've got pedal assist levels right here. You got 5 pedal assist levels. It is set up for either a thumb throttle or a half twist throttle, but of course you know I love the thumb throttles. It's over here on the left side because we have a lot of things over here on the right side. So left-handed thumb throttle. The brakes, Tektro Dorado brakes. This is a 4-piston brake. Yeah, I had another bike that had it too, like this. These are really good brakes. Okay, so full hydraulic brakes on there. I believe they're 180 millimeter rotors down there. The motor is a 500 watt motor. Let me talk about the motor and some of the other things that this company does that's a little bit different. Let me tell you first the warranty. Okay, 10 years. 10-year warranty on the frame, 10-year warranty on the motor, 5-year warranty on the batteries. That's like unheard of. That may very well be the best warranty on the market. Now, I don't know for a fact. There could be other companies that do better. I don't know. But I had not run across anybody who offered a 10-year warranty on the frame and on the motor and a 5-year warranty on the battery. That's incredible. But that kind of tells you real quickly that they back up their product. All right, so battery pack, I went with the full maximum battery pack to the biggest size it'll go, and I went with the full maximum batteries in the basket. I added a suspension seat post to it. I think they call this the Satori suspension seat post. I changed to the larger saddle, okay, to a better saddle. the Shimano Altus derailleur I mentioned. I added that. You can pick the color even of your pedal, your crank here. I'm running out of words here. Yeah, I could either have made that black or silver. I went with silver because I wanted to go and connect everything up with silver. So even the spokes, they build their own wheels. Yeah, they have a guy who actually puts the spokes and everything on it, tensions it properly. Yeah, no loose spokes on this thing. So yeah, I went with silver here. I went with silver here. I went with silver on the handlebars, and this, of course, is your typical beach cruiser swept back type handlebars. So you sit totally upright on this bike. Did I cover everything? No, not everything. I put an electronics package on here too. There's an alarm system on this bike. Yeah. So let me see if I can do that. Let me turn it off and then turn it back on here. Okay, so now it's armed. This is the little, they give you two of these, so you can turn on and turn off the alarm. Oh, I think I did. I armed it, but I didn't set it. Now it's set, okay? So now if you move the bike, and of course I can turn off that. So now it doesn't go off whenever I move the bike. So it's got a built-in alarm system. Now I know that you can buy alarm systems, but this thing's hidden in a point where I don't even know where it is. I'm gonna guess battery pack. I have no idea. So what about the batteries? Let's talk about the batteries. I did ask them whether this is run in parallel or in series, and it is a parallel run. So technically you could turn on this battery and turn on this battery. This battery here is that there's an on-off switch right on this side here. Okay. I would recommend that you do it one at a time. What I would do is I would deplete this one and then turn this one on. And my rep said the same thing. That's what she would do as well. But you could technically run them both at the same time for those who like parallel runs. But you know, charging it and everything, you want to make sure that the potential of both batteries are the same. And because of that, that becomes kind of a difficulty. You got to make sure both are charged up exactly the same time to be safe. I'd rather say, okay, I know that this one was worn down. I'll just charge this one up. Oh, I wore this one down. I'll just charge this one up. I don't have to worry so much then about whether I have the potential set up properly on either battery. But that's just me. You can do it any way you want. Now, the charger on this is interesting too, because I know we're in the shadow a little bit here, but back here, if you reach in, sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand again. Yeah, the cord is right here. So yeah, you can pull this out and charge it because the charger is actually in the battery pack. On this side, you'd have to plug it in over here. So there's an external charger for the batteries that are in the basket. Okay. An adjustable handlebar stem comes with it. It is standard. Let me tell you about building the bike. Yeah, you don't have to do any building. The bike is 100% built for you. The only thing you have to do in shipping is they rotate these. They rotate this down a little bit and the handlebar. So all you have to do is really adjust the handlebar so that the handlebar is back in position. It's just for shipping, but everything else is 100% built. And the shipping container, let me show you the box that it came in. It sits on a half pallet. So this is shipped to you. This is not coming FedEx, all right? This is coming through a truck line. And the truck line calls you and then says, we got a scheduled delivery for you. And the guy brings it down with a forklift, okay? And all you have to do is open up the box and roll it out. Yeah, because it's already built. Roll it out, adjust the handlebar, and you're ready to go. Yeah, I would charge it to make sure it's charged properly as well. And then you're ready to go, yeah. So, easiest bike to get started with. If you don't like building anything, there you go. It's already built for you. What else am I missing? I guarantee you I'm missing things. Okay, I added some things. I added the the side view mirror, as you know. I use the same mirror as I typically do, and I moved it up on the handlebar because I want this more, I want the mirror more forward. So I put it over here and stuck it out. The one thing that they didn't do, which I was kind of surprised, I don't know if they forgot or they just don't do it, they didn't give a bell. So I added my own bell. This is the inexpensive, what was it, $1.34 bell or something like that. So yeah, I put the bell on there. They did not have that. I put the Lamicall BP09 mount here for my cell phone. Now, this bike kind of starts up a little bit differently. Oh, and one thing you need to note is that the kickstand will get in your way with the pedals. So if you back up your bike, you will run into the kickstand. You need to know that. They did this purposely because this bike is rather heavy when you load it up like I did, and to keep the weight in the middle of the bike, they had to move it forward. Okay, they didn't move it to the side here. They had to move it forward. I agree that they did it the way they had to do it, but it would have been nice if it wasn't in the way, but it's the way it is. Cable management is really good. You can see here, the cable goes to my backpack, my back battery pack, and then it goes down in the tube, comes back out through the tube, and then back out through here, and everything is wrapped perfectly. Now, if you don't have a basket, it goes right down here in the front. It goes through the tube again. Okay, so everything is really cleanly put together. Probably the nicest looking bike as far as cable management. There's a front headlight. Here's their little electric bike company logo on here. And of course, rear tail light is on the battery pack. Okay, and that'll light up when you turn on the lights. And of course, when you touch the brakes, it will function as well. So there's a couple things that is a little bit different. Now, let me show you real quickly. To turn the bike on, you push the power button just like everybody else's thing. I know it's kind of hard in direct sunlight to see all this, but your pedal assist is done right here. It goes up and down just like everybody else's pedal assist. There's 5 levels of pedal assist, okay? But the pedal assist does not work unless you do one thing. Because if you look up here, I know you can't see it, it says PAS off. You cannot get pedal assist even if you move the levels because it's still off. What you need to do is you need to hold the bottom up and down button down for a couple of seconds. Once you do that, the PAS off will disappear, and now you actually have full pedal assist at this point. So you have to turn on the pedal assist. I don't know if I really like that or not. I know others have said the same thing, but I'd rather just turn it on and know I have pedal assist immediately, but you have to turn it on to do that. And again, you can turn it off too. Like even if you were on pedal assist, say 4, if you held down the bottom button, it'll come back up here and say PAS is off, okay? So you don't want to hold this down long on the down button when you're riding the bike, otherwise you're going to turn off your pedal assist, okay? Now, the throttle is interesting too. The throttle will only give you the speed that the pedal assist is set for. So for instance, if I was set at pedal assist level 2, it's a certain speed that you can ride when you're pedaling, but your throttle will only go to that speed as well, okay? So if you wanted full throttle, you need to move it up to pedal assist 5, and then you have full throttle that'll go to its maximum level. So there's some little things that you need to know about the bike. The bike is also a class 2 bike. Now this is a pure class 2 bike or a pure class 3 bike. And if you took off the throttle, if you just disconnected the throttle and took it off, it would be a pure class 1. Now, let me explain real quickly what that means. Class 1 is a pedal assist bike that goes up to 20 miles per hour. Okay, let me show you the rest of the bike while we're talking about this. So you have to pedal to get up to 20 miles per hour, okay? A class 2 bike does 20 miles per hour, but it also has a throttle, okay? A class 3 bike can go to 28 miles per hour, but by the letter of the law, the pedal assisting can bring you to 28 miles per hour, but the throttle can only bring you to 20 miles per hour. That's how this bike is set up, okay? Many bikes are set up so that if you do class 3, you can throttle it to 28 miles per hour, which is technically no longer class 3, because class 3 should not have throttle beyond 20. So if you want a bike that's right with the law, this is the bike to do that. It goes exactly the way the law has been written. Now, some people will like that, some people will not. Some people want their throttle to do 28 miles per hour. This bike will not do that, okay? They've kept within the law. I applaud them for that. Sometimes I kind of wish, I wish my throttle would do 28, so like some of my other bikes, but that's not how this bike was designed. This bike was designed to be run exactly the way the law states you need to run it, okay? So what about performance? Well, let's talk about that as we're riding, okay? Sit tight, we'll take it out for a ride. Okay, I apologize if you hear some wind noise going on. I have my microphone not on the helmet this time. I have it clipped to my GoPro camera mount on my chest. It might pick up some wind noise, I hope it doesn't. Speaking of helmets, that's one thing I didn't mention. You might have saw it when I first turned on the video today. Yeah, I have the electric bike company's helmet on, which they gave to me. I have it painted to match the bike color. Yeah, you can customize that too. Everything is customizable on the electric bike company, it seems, on their bikes. And it's kind of similar to my other Ex-Nito helmet. It has a front headlight and a rear tail light on my helmet. And that'll blink or it'll be solid. Or you could even turn off the front light if you wanted to, if you just wanted a blinking rear light. I can see many people doing that during the daytime. I keep them both on. It has enough power to run, so I figure why not, right? So, what do I think of the ride? Let me tell you real quickly, when I first got on the bike, it is so heavy because of all the batteries and everything that I have in the front. It almost felt front heavy, which it is, quite frankly. I don't know the exact weight. Again, I'll put a graphic up. I think their stated weight is in the 70-pound range, something like that. But I'm gonna push this down a little bit here. There we go. I have a rubber thing on top of the batteries, and the double stick tape was coming off. It was kind of flopping around because of the wind. So the helmet can be done so that it matches the bike, which I did, or you can change it to whatever color you want. Speaking of colors, they do have certain colors that they have as options for you, but they can literally match any color. Just like when you go to places like Home Depot, you go to the paint section, you bring a sample of a color, they'll scan it and match it. They can do that. Yeah, so you can literally pick whatever you would like. All right, we're gonna pass this gentleman here. Thank you. So, yeah, I just picked the colors that they had. I just picked one of the colors that they had. I decided not to do custom coloring. Yeah, but you could, if there's a favorite color or a school color you want to match, you could do that. So it is a little bit heavy in the front because of all the batteries, and of course total weight. Of course, I weighed the bike. It was 120 pounds. Yeah, I was shocked at how much it weighed. Oh, they also gave me a lock. I'll show you a lock a little bit later. It's sitting in the rear bag there. Oh, the bag. There's so much stuff. The bag actually clips onto the rear rack and unclips itself as well. I'll show a separate video about that. Yeah, we'll just keep riding and then I'll just let it run as we're talking. Yeah, I knew I was going to forget things because we have so much stuff here. So, yeah, I hear it bouncing around in the back there because I have it sitting inside the bag. Yeah, so he has an e-bike because he's moving pretty fast. Before I show you the bag, let me show you the lock that I got for the bike. This is an extra that you can purchase. This is the electric bike company logo on here. It comes with a carrying case that has some straps here, so you could put this on your bike. I just left it in the bag. But this is a keyed folding lock. So if you open up the lock here, you can see this is typical. A lot of people have seen these before. But to undo that, you take the key, put it in, turn it, that'll open, and then it'll be able to be locked up at that point. When you're ready, you put it back, stick it in, turn the key, locks back in place. Okay, I'll stick this back in here. And again, you can mount this on your bike if you like. The bag, before we show you the bag, does come with a strap, so you could use the bag, because you can take the bag off. Let me show you that. Let's close the bag up here. So you notice the bag is mounted to the rack, but there's a tool. Grab the tool out of here. Oh, I didn't leave the tool there. Where did I put the tool? Oh, I have the tool in my pocket. It's like a little switchblade looking thing. So you just kind of pop that, it pops open, okay? Let's close the bag up again. So to take the bag off, you go underneath the bag with the tool, and it unlocks the bag. So you can see there's a mounting bracket here, and they sell these separately too. You can put this on almost anything. You can buy the brackets, and then there's a little clip thing here, and it clips onto the rack. So all you need to do, stick it back on there, lock it in place, pull the tool, and this is now nice and tight again. Again, to take it off, you go underneath, stick it into the little hole, and it unlocks. Very smart system. So this again is an extra if you wanted to get one of these. Again, they gave me one. I requested it, so I can show it to you guys. So you just stick it on there, wind it up, push down, pull this back out, and you're locked in place. Very cool. So yeah, this is really smooth. Now, you might ask me, how does it do going over the hill test? Yeah, the hill test. Yeah, I'm not going to embarrass the bike by doing the hill test. Yeah, it was going over at about like 6 miles an hour, something like that. Yeah, and the reason is because it's so heavy. I think had I not maxed this out with everything in the world on this bike, it would probably be better. But I had a hard time going over the hill to the point where I felt like I could even fall off the bike because I wasn't stable. At 6 miles per hour, I felt like I was kind of teetering back and forth, so I ended it and did not do it. Of course, you guys would have loved to see me fall off the bike, right? No, we're not going to embarrass it. So you might be thinking, you know, with this bike being so expensive as it is, after it's been maxed out, it can't ride over the hills. No, it could ride over hills. It just can't ride over that one big hill that I usually use to do the hill test with. So is this the bike for somebody who has lots of hills? Yeah, I would say no. Yeah, I would say no. It's a 500 watt motor in here, okay? If it had a bigger motor, it probably would have less problems going over the hill, but any bike would have a problem at 120 pounds for a bike. So so I don't fault it for that. You know, here's the thing with this bike. Because I kept thinking too, who would buy this bike? What kind of person would buy this bike? Well, first off, if you're along the beach, you would buy this bike. It's a beach cruiser, come on. This is the style. This is the style of bike you want to have, right? Who else would buy this bike? Well, I think our seniors would love this bike. It's an upright riding position. The swept back handlebars here, I'm sitting straight up and down. I'm not leaning forward or anything like that. It's very comfortable to ride with the suspension seat posts on there, the thick and bouncy saddle on there. It's a nice ride. So I think that would be the person who would want this. What if you were younger? Would you want this? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, this is not the only style of bike that Electric Bike Company makes. I mean, they do make other styles of bike. I chose this one because I wanted the wooden fenders and, the wooden chain guard, and I wanted the unique look of it. It's kind of a showpiece, really. Yeah. See, now here, I have the throttle fully engaged. I'm at pedal assist level 3, but I'm only doing 16 miles an hour. And that's because if you want it faster, you need to move your pedal assist to 5 and then hit it, and then it's going to go faster, okay? Again, I unlocked this bike, so I could do 28 miles per hour if I pedaled it that fast. We're going up a hill a little bit here, so we're about ready to hit 20. All right, let's slow down a little bit here, across this road. So by throttling, I can hit 20, but if I pedaled it, I can hit 28, right? Now you might ask, have I hit the 28 yet? And the answer is no, I have not. I don't have a strong enough leg and knee. You guys know I had to replace knee, right? Well, because of that, I don't have the strength to pedal it to 20. I have gotten it past, I think I did 24, 25, something like that. I think if my leg was stronger, yeah, I would have hit 28. But you got to pedal it. Like I said, this is a true Class 3 bike. This is not a pseudo Class 3 bike. This is truly the way it should be, according to the letter of the law. So I have to applaud them for doing that, because many bike companies don't, and they skate the law. You know, I mean, they call it a Class 3, but is it truly a Class 3? And the answer would probably be no. They're not. They're a little bit off, because their throttles go past it. So for those who like to be law-abiding, this bike keeps you law-abiding. Yeah, you're not messing up anything if you ride this bike, because it's not going to go past 20 with the throttle. All right, but you can do it if you pedaled it. So, oh, cadence sensor. Yes, my bike has a cadence sensor. However, they have added an option for torque sensor, if you like that. Now, many of you know that the torque sensor bikes are difficult for me because of my replaced knee. So I am glad I've got the cadence sensor version of this bike. But you can get the torque sensor version if you want. Now, every option that you add on this bike, it is an upcharge, right? So that price would go up even higher. There's advanced options on the bike that you can put on there. If I missed anything, I'll put a graphic up and hopefully I can catch it. But they've put almost everything I can think of that I would want on a bike on this bike. I suppose the only thing that I feel like I'm still missing a little bit is the ability to climb that hill. I guess if it was a 750 watt motor that had a higher peak, then it might make me even happier. But they made their decisions the way they made their decisions, and the 500 watt motor is the same motor that goes on every bike of this basic type of style. So, and come on, 10 years warranty on that motor, 10 years warranty on the bike, 5 years warranty on the battery, unheard of. Congrats to them, because they know that their bike can handle it. Let me say this, it is so windy today. I was on another bike today that I took out, another bike that came in for review. It is kind of lightweight. I was being pushed around by that wind. I could feel it side to side, I could feel it. Not so much on this bike, it's got some weight. It's not being pushed over. All right. So I looked around to make sure that the cars were okay with me, and they were kind of waiting for me to make the turn, so I did it. So yeah, who's gonna buy this bike? Well, anyone who wants a classic looking bike. Anyone who wants to keep by the letter of the law. Anyone who wants customization. Anyone who wants colors that's not offered on any other bike. Yeah, everything is premium on this bike is what I'm basically telling you. Everything is premium on the bike based on its design. Yeah. Everything is shiny. I mean, even the handlebars, the crankset, the front fork, anything that had the silver, it is polished well. I am totally impressed. So Russ, are you selling this bike off after you are done with it? I don't think so. I think this is one I'm going to keep. You know, I kind of equate it this way. Now I know people are going to say it's not the same thing, but you know, there's people who buy inexpensive bikes, maybe not built as well, has certain performance things. Then there are people who buy high quality premium product. Yeah, maybe it doesn't go as fast. Maybe it doesn't do this or that, but it has high quality of everything else, right? It's almost like cars. Let's talk about cars. You know, who buys a Bentley? Who buys a Rolls Royce? Who buys that kind of thing? You know, those things are not going to be like the fastest cars on the market. They're not going to do things like that. But there's that luxury, right? That's kind of like what the electric bike company is to me, in my mind. Let's turn here. It just kind of feels like you're riding something that has high quality. So no, it's not being sold, it's staying. Come on, this is the RUSSISRIGHT bike. It's got the colors I wanted and everything. It's got all the features I wanted on it. It's got the battery, it's got the range. You know, we could take this bike and do that Botanic Garden ride. Maybe we'll do that. I mean, it's got more battery than any other bike that I have. I could do that 60-mile ride. Why not do it? I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, we'll do that one day. Now, you're going to ask me if I'm going to do the range test on here. You know, that's going to be a difficult test. With this much battery on here, that would be a difficult test for me. But obviously, I will write down when I know how long a certain battery lasts or not. I mean, I could do like the rear battery first, exhaust that, write it down. Then I could do the front battery next, exhaust that, write it down. I mean, will I be able to do it all in one day? Absolutely not. It's got too much range. So there you have it, folks. That's the Electric Bike Company Model S, RUSSISRIGHT edition. There'll be links in the description below if you're interested in a bike like this. And again, even if this is not the style that you would go to, take a look at their other offerings. Use the affiliate link to get there. That helps me out. I get a slight commission if you do it. And yeah, let me just say, if you don't have major hills and you want a high quality bike, consider the Electric Bike Company's bikes. Yeah. You have a big hill, well, okay, maybe at that point you might want to look somewhere else. Yeah, because we know it doesn't do the hills quite as well as some of the other models that I've had from other brands. But you know, it's designed a certain way and does what it does. So anyways, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time.